You're not here by accident. Something inside you already knows that the way you've been trying to create your reality isn't working. And no, it's not your fault. You've been taught a distorted version of manifestation, one that demands effort, time, and blind faith. But that ends today, because what you're about to discover is not another technique. It's a scientific truth about how reality collapses in real time. Once you truly understand this, you won't just change the way you manifest, you'll change the way you exist. Here's your invitation. In the comments, declare your alignment with this truth. Write the phrase, "I am the observer who collapses reality." Let this be more than a comment. Let it be your signal to the quantum field, your moment of activation. Get ready. What you're about to experience isn't information, it's transformation. What you're about to learn is not based on spiritual wishful thinking. It's rooted in the groundbreaking fusion of quantum physics, neuroscience, and consciousness research. At the heart of this understanding stands Jacobo Grinberg, a Mexican neurophysiologist and psychologist whose revolutionary work bridged science and mysticism. Grinberg proposed that reality emerges from a unified field of information, what he called the lattice, and that our perception collapses this field into what we call experience. This is not metaphoric. It aligns with what quantum physicists refer to as the zero-point field, a space where all potential realities exist simultaneously. Grinberg's theories align with those of pioneers like David Bohm and Amit Goswami, who also explored how consciousness shapes matter. But here's the missing link. Manifestation doesn't occur because you want something. It occurs the moment your internal frequency becomes coherent, when your mind, body, and emotions are aligned in a singular vibrational signature. That's when the quantum field responds, not with delay, but with precision. This isn't just a theory, it's measurable. Institutions like the HeartMath Institute have proven that a coherent heart-brain signal radically amplifies your electromagnetic field, triggering real-world change. Now let's go deeper. For years, people have been told that manifestation is about becoming a magnet, that by thinking the right thoughts, repeating affirmations, and maintaining positive energy, you will attract your desires into your life. This metaphor, while poetic, is deeply flawed and scientifically inaccurate. And this misunderstanding is the reason why so many people remain stuck year after year, despite their best efforts. The traditional view suggests that your desires exist somewhere out there, and that your job is to send out the right signal long enough until the universe decides to deliver what you've asked for. This model is passive and linear. It puts time between you and what you want. It creates a subtle but powerful illusion that what you seek is separate from who you are. But what if the problem isn't your lack of focus, or your discipline, or your belief system? What if the entire framework you've been given is incorrect? The truth is, you're not a magnet. You're a broadcaster. You're not pulling something toward you from a distance. You're radiating a signal into the quantum field, and that field is reorganizing itself around the dominant frequency you're emitting. The field doesn't respond to your wishes, hopes, or words. It responds to the coherence of your signal. This is where traditional manifestation teachings fall short. They emphasize the conscious mind, your vision boards, your goals, your desires, your affirmations. But neuroscience tells us that only about 5% of your cognitive activity is conscious. The other 95% is subconscious, running on autopilot, driven by deeply embedded beliefs, fears, and patterns, many of which you didn't choose. So while you may consciously be affirming abundance, your subconscious, programmed perhaps in childhood, may still be running beliefs like, money is hard to earn, or I'm not worthy of success. And guess which signal the quantum field listens to? The stronger one, the more consistent one, the embodied one, not the one you speak, the one you radiate. That's why people feel exhausted after doing everything right and still seeing no results. they meditate, they visualize, they script. They wait, but nothing changes. Eventually, frustration takes over, and they begin to question their own worth. They wonder if maybe they're not spiritual enough, or not aligned enough, or just not lucky. But the issue is not them. The issue is that they're trying to attract something that's already present in the field, only not in the frequency they currently inhabit. Manifestation doesn't work the way you've been told. It's not about pulling your future toward you. It's about collapsing into it. And this collapse is not a process that takes time. It's a process that takes precision. The more coherent and undivided your internal frequency is, the more instantaneous the manifestation becomes. So if you felt stuck, it's not because you're broken, it's because you were operating under a myth. And now, it's time to wake up from it. At the foundation of quantum physics lies a principle so profound. It has redefined our understanding of reality itself, the observer effect. According to this principle, reality does not exist in a fixed, objective state independent of you. Instead, at the quantum level, particles exist in a state of pure potential, in what physicists call a superposition, until they are observed. And it is the very act of observation that collapses this field of potential into one specific outcome. Let that sink in. You are not observing reality, you are selecting it. This is not spiritual metaphor, it is measurable science. In the famous double-slit experiment, particles of light behave like waves, spreading across space and existing in multiple positions simultaneously until a conscious observer measures them. Once observed, they behave like particles, fixed and located. The act of observation itself changes the outcome. What does this mean for manifestation? It means that your desired reality already exists, not as a fantasy, but as one of many simultaneous possibilities within the quantum field. All versions of your life, abundance and scarcity, health and illness, love and loneliness, are already broadcasting like radio station. And just like tuning into a specific station, your consciousness determines which frequency becomes your experience. This is the real foundation of manifestation, not attraction, but selection. You are not drawing a distant reality into your present. You are collapsing a probability into physical experience by the power of your focus, your attention, and, most importantly, your vibrational state. But not all observation is created equal. Quantum collapse does not occur merely because you think about something or wish it to happen. It occurs when your entire system, conscious mind, subconscious mind, nervous system, and emotional body, come into coherence, sending a unified signal into the field. Here's where most people miss the mark. They observe their desires with hope, with longing, with uncertainty. These emotions signal the quantum field not that the desire has been fulfilled, but that it remains out of reach. In quantum terms, your emotional state is your measurement device. The field doesn't respond to your visualizations alone. It responds to the emotional signal you broadcast when you observe your desired reality as already true. You are the observer. You are the one collapsing reality. And every moment, with every thought-feeling combination, you are tuning into a version of life that matches your internal frequency. This is why change can be instantaneous. The quantum field does not need time. It needs a clear signal. The moment you align your internal state with the version of you who already has what you desire, that version collapses into now. Not because you forced it, but because you became the observer who knew it to be real. You're not waiting for life to change. Life is waiting for you to observe differently. If you've ever wondered why certain manifestations seem to occur instantly, while others take months or years, or never arrive at all, the answer lies in a single principle: vibrational coherence. This concept is the missing key in nearly every popular approach to manifestation. Without coherence, your signal to the quantum field is fragmented, and a fragmented signal cannot collapse reality with precision. Let's break it down. Every human being emits an electromagnetic field, a measurable frequency generated primarily by the heart and the brain. These frequencies are influenced by your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and physical state. But coherence doesn't mean just emitting a signal. It means that all parts of you are broadcasting the same message without contradiction. Coherence is the alignment between your conscious intentions, your subconscious beliefs, your emotional responses, and your physiological state. When all these systems vibrate in harmony, the signal you send into the quantum field becomes exponentially stronger and more effective. Think of it like this. If your conscious mind says, "I am abundant," but your subconscious mind is still running the program, "I always struggle with money," and your body is tense with fear or anxiety, then you're emitting multiple conflicting frequencies. And the quantum field doesn't respond to your surface-level thoughts. It responds to the dominant vibration. This is why affirmations alone often fail. It's not because the words are wrong, it's because they aren't backed by emotional and neurological coherence. Without that internal harmony, your affirmations are just noise, like trying to tune into a radio station with static interference. But when your entire being is aligned, the signal becomes clear, focused, and powerful enough to collapse the version of reality that matches it. Scientific research from the HeartMath Institute shows that when your heart and brain enter a state of coherence, meaning their rhythms are synchronized, the body produces a strong, consistent electromagnetic field. This field can become up to 5,000 times more powerful than the one generated by the brain alone. That's not just a metaphor for inner peace. It's a measurable change in your energetic signature. In a state of coherence, your perception shifts. You begin to see opportunities that were invisible before. You make different decisions. You radiate confidence, calm, and certainty, and the world responds to that version of you. This is where instantaneous manifestation becomes possible, because the quantum field doesn't wait. It responds in real time to the signal you're emitting. When that signal is pure, coherent, and undivided, the corresponding reality is already available. It doesn't need to be attracted. It simply clicks into alignment. So the real work is not in chasing outcomes or waiting for signs. It's in becoming internally coherent, clearing out the contradictions, dissolving the doubt, and embodying the version of yourself who no longer needs to try to manifest. Because when you're truly coherent, manifestation isn't effort, it's inevitability. While many speak of manifestation as a mental or spiritual process, few recognize that its true engine lies in the nervous system. This complex bioelectrical network is not just a passive observer of your reality, it's an active transmitter, constantly communicating with the quantum field through your physiological state. If your nervous system is dysregulated, no amount of visualization or affirmations will create lasting change. Why? Because your body is sending a frequency of incoherence, signaling threat, scarcity, or resistance. At the center of this system is the heart-brain connection. Your heart is not simply a mechanical pump. It contains a complex network of neurons and communicates directly with your brain. When your heart and brain are in harmony, their electromagnetic rhythms synchronize, producing a state known as heart-brain coherence. In this state, your body functions optimally, emotionally, mentally, and energetically, and the signal you emit to the quantum field becomes clear and amplified. Scientific studies, particularly from the HeartMath Institute, show that entering a coherent heart-brain state not only enhances cognitive performance and emotional regulation, but also expands your electromagnetic field by up to 5,000 times. This field is measurable. It radiates several feet outside your body and influences the space around you. This is not spiritual idealism, it's physics. You are a walking transmitter of bioelectromagnetic information. But here's the key. Your nervous system doesn't respond to your intention. It responds to your perception of safety. You may be mentally repeating, "I am abundant," but if your nervous system is stuck in fight or flight, your body is actually broadcasting a signal of danger, lack, or urgency. And the quantum field, in turn, collapses reality around that dominant frequency because the field responds to your embodied truth, not your spoken desire. This is why breathwork, mindfulness, and nervous system regulation are far more than wellness tools. They are gateways to manifestation. When you regulate your breathing, slow your heart rate, and bring awareness into the body, you begin to shift from sympathetic activation, stress response, to parasympathetic dominance, rest and connection. In this parasympathetic state, you gain access to clarity, groundedness, and emotional coherence, the true building blocks of quantum alignment. In other words, you cannot manifest coherence from a dysregulated body. The nervous system must feel safe enough to allow elevated emotional states like gratitude, joy, and certainty to be sustained. These are not just feelings, they are frequencies, and they hold the key to rapid quantum collapse. So, before trying to think your way into manifestation, ask, is my body aligned with what I say I want? If not, start there. Because the moment your heart, brain, and breath synchronize into harmony, the quantum field takes notice. Reality doesn't shift from thought, it shifts from embodied coherence. If you've ever repeated affirmations for weeks or listened to hours of subliminal audios without seeing meaningful change, there's a reason. And it's not because you weren't consistent. It's because the subconscious mind does not respond to repetition alone. It responds to emotionally charged experience. Your subconscious governs about 95% of your daily behavior, decisions, and perceptions. It's not rational, and it doesn't understand language the way your conscious mind does. It operates through patterns, emotions, and sensory imprinting. That means no matter how often you say, "I am abundant," if your subconscious is holding on to fear, shame, or scarcity rooted in past experience, that's the signal your body continues to send into the field. Most of these subconscious programs were installed early in life, during the first 7 years, when your brain functioned primarily in the theta state, a deeply receptive, hypnotic brainwave that absorbs information without filtering it. During this period, beliefs about self-worth, money, love, safety, and success are embedded through experiences, not words, and unless consciously reprogrammed, these early codes become your energetic default setting. Now here's what science and ancient wisdom confirms. The most effective way to change a subconscious belief is through emotional encoding. A single moment of intense emotion can overwrite years of conditioned programming. This is because the subconscious learns through feeling, not thinking. When an emotion reaches a certain threshold, it activates neurochemical responses in the brain and body, forming what neuroscientists call a high-impact learning event. For example, someone may believe they are shy their whole life until a crisis forces them to act with unexpected courage. That one emotionally intense moment rewrites their identity, not through analysis, but through embodiment. The experience becomes a new reference point that the nervous system recognizes as truth. This principle is essential for manifestation. If you want to reprogram your subconscious for abundance, you must embody the feeling of abundance now, as if it were a memory, not a wish. You must allow your body to experience the joy, certainty, safety, and empowerment of already having what you desire. That internal emotional coherence is the programming language of your subconscious. Visualization becomes effective not when it's vivid in your mind, but when it's felt in your body. When your nervous system starts to associate a new emotion with your identity, you begin to shift. Your electromagnetic field changes, your habits change, your choices shift, and reality begins to respond, not to your thoughts, but to your embodied signal. This is the power of emotional encoding. It doesn't just change your belief, it changes your frequency. And when your frequency changes, The quantum field has no choice but to collapse the version of reality that matches it. So stop trying to convince your mind with words. Start training your subconscious with emotion. That's the language it listens to. That's where instant transformation begins. One of the greatest illusions blocking instant manifestation is the belief that time is required. We're taught to think in terms of linear progression, that you must work hard, wait patiently, and eventually reach your goals. But in the quantum model of reality, time is not the deciding factor. Frequency is. The version of your life where you are already healed, successful, loved, and fulfilled already exists, not in the future, but in the present moment, in a different frequency band. Just like multiple radio stations broadcasting simultaneously, your current reality is simply the one your consciousness is tuned into. You don't need to build your dream life. You need to match the frequency of the version of you who already lives it. This is not a metaphor. In quantum physics, the field of potentiality contains all outcomes, all timelines, all versions of you simultaneously. What appears as time is simply the process of your consciousness moving from one state to another, collapsing possibilities into experience based on what you consistently vibrate. Time doesn't delay manifestation, misalignment does. Let's use a simple analogy. Imagine your reality is like tuning into a specific station on a radio dial. You can't hear what's playing on 104.7 FM while your dial is set to 88.3. The song is still playing, you're just not tuned in. Likewise, the abundance you're seeking, the love you crave, the health you desire, it's already broadcasting in the field. You're not waiting for it to be created. You're waiting to become energetically attuned to it. But what causes the delay? Incoherence and emotional static. Most people spend their days vibrating in fragmented emotional states, a mix of desire, doubt, hope, and fear. One moment they believe, the next they question. This inconsistency keeps the signal weak, unstable, and blurred, like trying to hear a clear song through a mistuned frequency filled with noise. The field responds accordingly. It reflects the quality of your dominant signal, not your temporary wishes. This is where presence becomes powerful. When you release the mental projection of time, the belief that your desire is somewhere in the distance, and instead embody the emotion of your goal as if it were already realized, you collapse the illusion of separation. Your body doesn't know the difference between a real experience and one that is deeply imagined with emotional intensity. If the feeling is real, the nervous system accepts it as truth, and the field responds accordingly. Manifestation is not a linear journey. It's an energetic alignment with what is already true in another layer of reality. The only reason it feels far away is because your consciousness is oscillating between frequencies. The moment your signal becomes steady, the shift becomes instantaneous. You're not waiting for your reality to arrive. Your reality is waiting for your frequency to stabilize. If everything you desire already exists in the quantum field as pure potential, what brings it into form? The answer is embodiment. Not belief, not hope, not even intention, but the act of becoming in the present moment, the version of yourself who no longer needs to manifest because they are already living it. This is the core principle behind instantaneous manifestation. Reality collapses, not when you want something, but when you are it. In quantum mechanics, a particle exists in a state of superposition, multiple possible states, until it is observed. But observation in this context doesn't mean simply looking with your eyes, it means interacting with reality from a coherent, embodied frequency. You collapse the field, not by thinking of a possibility, but by feeling it in your body and aligning your entire system with it. Embodiment means your breath, your posture, your tone of voice, your thoughts, your emotional state, all reflect the frequency of the reality you choose to inhabit. It's not a performance, it's a resonance. You're no longer asking, visualizing, or waiting, you're radiating. You're no longer preparing for the change, you are the change. and the field responds not to effort, but to identity. Think of it like this. If your body has never felt what abundance truly is, it cannot recognize it even when it arrives, so it must first be trained to experience that emotion as familiar. Now, in this moment. That's what embodiment does. It rewires your nervous system to accept the reality you've chosen as your baseline experience. Once your biology believes it, the field responds with precision. This explains why shifts can be instant. The quantum field doesn't care how long you've suffered or how badly you want change. It doesn't respond to stories, it responds to states. The moment your inner state becomes indistinguishable from the reality you desire, the outer world aligns accordingly. This isn't personal, it's physics. But embodiment also means consistency. You don't step into this version of yourself once and then revert to old habits of fear or doubt. You anchor into the identity. You practice breathing like your future self, walking like them, making decisions as they would, speaking as they do. Over time, this repetition stabilizes the signal, and the old timeline, the one built on incoherence, begins to dissolve. When you embody a new frequency fully, reality has no choice but to follow. The field doesn't negotiate, it mirrors. Your job is not to chase outcomes, but to sustain alignment. And when that alignment is held long enough, with clarity and emotional integrity, the shift happens, not gradually, but abruptly, decisively, undeniably. You are not manifesting possibilities, you are collapsing them. Now that you understand the true nature of manifestation, not as a future event to attract, but as a present reality to collapse, the invitation is clear. Begin living from the version of you who no longer waits. Everything you've heard, everything you've felt in this moment is not just information, it's activation. But activation only becomes transformation when it is embodied. So take a breath. Tune into the version of yourself who is already aligned, already certain, already vibrating from completion, not from longing. Let that version guide your next decision, your next action, your next breath. This is your moment to stop seeking and start radiating. Let go of timelines, let go of effort, anchor into coherence, and reality will reshape itself around your frequency. If this message resonated with you, make it real. Leave a comment below and write, "I am coherence." Let that be your declaration, not just to this community, but to the field itself. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to this channel. This space is not about passive content. It's a collective frequency, a circle of consciousness creating reality with intention. Now ask yourself, what would change right now if you stopped waiting and simply became?